Hello, and how fares you all? I got the fresh cut, and I'm here to record and to talk about my feelings about what exactly is an anime by definition, or rather how other people perceive what an anime is and what my definition of an anime is. Alright, let's go ahead online real quick and let's see what the general definition of anime is according to like some sites like Merriam-Webster and even Wikipedia. Okay, according to Merriam-Webster, the definition of anime is a style of animation originating in Japan that is characterized by stark, colorful graphics depicting vibrant characters and action-filled plots, often with fantastic or futuristic themes. Now, when they're saying here that anime is something that has action in it, there are a lot of anime where you could say there isn't a lot of action in it. Like, I guess Box of Goblins would be a royal example, where there are some episodes where you're just sitting there and you're just looking at the characters talk and just reveal information that's going to help solve a mystery. So, and then of course you have some slice of life where the characters are basically just living their life. Like, I guess you could say like some episodes of Azumanga Daioh, where these girls were just living their life, and if you actually look at the episode, there are some comedic moments, but there isn't, on some episodes there isn't a lot going on, and that's part of the humor, and it's just these girls just being themselves, and that's a little crazy. It doesn't get to the seizure levels, but it's just them being just a little crazy, but still not much action. So the part about anime having action in it, that's something a bit outdated. And then futuristic and fantastical themes, we know that the whole genre of slice of life and romance anime, unless you're going to Kyoto Animation or Clannad and Air, where they have some supernatural elements, but a lot of slice of life, a lot of shoujo, they don't have fantastical themes in them or futuristic themes. So those genres of anime right there kind of negate that. But that part of the definition too. So that definition by Merriam-Webster is kind of suspect there. Okay, now on Dictionarycom, we have a Japanese style of motion picture animation characterized by highly stylized, colorful art, futuristic settings, violence, and sexuality. What is it with these definitions thinking all anime takes place in the future or something? I don't get that, but okay, so that's the definition we have presented to us by Dictionary.com, and I can kind of get down with that. I wish they had more of an or in there between the highly stylized, colorful art, futuristic settings, or violence, or sexuality, because we know not all of them contain all those elements, but okay, I can kind of get down with that definition a little bit. In Japanese style of motion picture animation, okay, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So, okay, Dictionary.com, okay. Okay, on Wikipedia we have, in Japanese, the term anime refers to all forms of animation from around the world. Now, of course, you know, Wikipedia can't ever give you simple definition of something, but I'm reading this off anyway. In English, anime is more restrictively used to denote a Japanese-style animated film or television entertainment, or as a style of animation created in Japan. The etymology of the word anime is disputed. Okay, I like that, Wikipedia. I see what you did there. You're trying not to be biased by having both definitions up there that separate people. It can be a Japanese style of animated film or television entertainment, or it can be a style of animation that originated in Japan. Yeah, I see what you did there. Okay, so that's basically where Wikipedia is going. It's choosing the safe ground. Can't blame them there. But, okay. Now I'm going to explain to you my definition of what anime is. Going to keep it very simple, of course. I'm not a super genius. I didn't go to school and take art class and practice Japanese animation and learn the etymology behind the words and the Japanese characters. I don't even know Japanese, but I'm here to explain to you my opinion based off the years and years of anime that I've seen, what my belief on the definition of anime is, and I'm explaining to you why I believe this definition is the best way to approach this beloved light cartoon pastime. I believe that anime is a cartoon style, 2D or 3D, that is greatly influenced by the Japanese style of animation. Now what consists of the style of animation, you may ask? Well, for one, of course, we have our bright colors, our bright vivid colors throughout. Now, even anime that have a dull color set are still going to have some colors that stand out to let you know that this isn't real, that this is basically a cartoon. So basically those bright vivid colors are definitely going to be an indicator. The next thing, of course, is going to be, of course, the big doughy eyes. That's the big indicators, those big eyes. Like the big eyes that are larger in proportion to the rest of the face are definitely going to be an indicator for Japanese animation. For anime, I remember reading somewhere that the eyes are made so big, don't quote me on this, but I think the eyes are made so big in order to help them express like their expressions, in order for them to express their emotions better, and that's the reason why they do the eyes like that. But that's another indicator right there. However, some people could argue that, wait a minute, that Disney was the one that originated with the huge doughy eyes in their animation. So with that alone, and with that, Japanese anime doesn't seem to separate itself really from other cartoons, especially those by Disney. Another feature that I see in anime across the board that separates it from a lot of contemporary American cartoons. I remember back in the day when you used to have the Texas Avery show and you had Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny, this was something more common. But in Japanese anime, they pretty much take this to the extreme, even in very subtle ways. And that is how, when they do certain expressions, the proportion of different facial features changes dramatically in comparison to the rest of the face. Like when the character is like side-eyeing someone, the eyes like get very tiny and it becomes a line, and then the face gets like this. And then when they get mad, there's the typical that they used to have more, the sweat sign on the blood vessel sign bulging through the head was another common one. And I can't go through and name all of them by memory, but these are some common emotion animation tropes that are used in Japanese anime that you're not going to find in American cartoons, especially in Disney. And now that I think about it, even in Tom and Jerry, they had their own ones too, with the eyes bulging from the head and the tongue sticking out. When the guy like saw a chicken, when a wolf saw a chicken, he was horny or something like that. Those were staples to American cartoons, while the eyes going down and the blood vessel thing and other things like that are common tropes to anime, and something that you're really only going to find in anime. So that's something big that separates it from Disney cartoons and other cartoons in the West. Another common thing that you'll find in anime that you won't find so much in American shows, this definitely isn't the case anymore. American cartoons have this just as well as anime has this, is the plot structure. In anime is going to be serial most of the time, and in Western cartoons is going to be episodic. And for those who don't know, a serial plot structure means that you're going to have the elements of your story, the beginning, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, the denouement, or the conclusion. All of that is going to be spread throughout several episodes, basically encompassing an arc. While when you have an episodic plot structure, you're going to have all those episodes, all those elements of a plot contained in one episode. And that's another big telltale, not so much anymore, that separates anime from what's other styles of cartoon animation. Okay, and the final thing is going to be that the general style of humor in anime is going to be different than the general style of humor that you're going to find in other styles of animation. Like there are going to be certain like jokes, and there's also going to be that thing where they might start off with one type where the character looks one way and the character might shrink, or the character might get real big. It's kind of like what I was talking about with the facial expression thing anything but exaggerated to the entire character's form itself. That's going to be another indication of anime as opposed to other shows. Now, other styles of animation have this too, but anime really did like spearhead this to be something that you can use to recognize it. And then of course there's usually a certain tropes of jokes in anime that you're going to find in anime that you're not going to find inside of other cartoons, other styles of cartoons. Okay, so that's basically it. All those things, that's what my definition of anime is, and I just named the different things that I believe separate an anime from other styles of animation. Now, the next big thing you're going to be asking me, or the big thing you might believe, is that you might believe the other definition now is represented by Wikipedia, that, and this is the most controversial thing here, that anime is something that is strictly restricted to Japan, meaning it can't be anime unless it comes straight from Japan. And to that, with the way things are evolving, the way this art form is evolving, the way it's being more widely accepted by different people from different countries who love this style and want to emulate it and make their own anime shows, I say that that definition is just an impractical and kind of selfish way to look at it. I truly understand that anime originated in Japan, that they're the people that originate this style. Of course, they did take elements of that style from Disney and incorporated certain artistic techniques they had in their own culture towards it in order to make it their own. But still, I mean, you see anime now, and if you see anime and you see Disney cartoon nowadays, I mean, seriously, there is no way you're going to confuse the Disney cartoon with the anime. You're going to know that's a Disney cartoon and that's an anime. And that basically gets around to what I'm talking about here, is when something gets big enough, it might be restricted to a certain region, and it might become very popular in that region, and something that they stick to, of course, as a thing of identity to show that we created this and this is ours and we own this. But as a species, we're just not like, there are Japanese, there are Americans, there are Russians, there are black, white, yellow, blue, red. There are these types of people in the world. But as we have something in our own culture, yes, that thing originated with us, but as that thing gets larger, as that thing gets bigger, and other people love and appreciate that thing as much as we do, then they're going to try and emulate it. They're going to show appreciation for this thing by trying to do their own thing with it, and it can't be because they're trying to steal it and they want to monopolize on what other people have done with it. Doing it like that is wrong, and doing that is what we call exploitation. What I'm talking about is something that starts over here with this group of people, and then another group of people see this and they're like, wow, this is amazing, this greatly influenced my life, I really love and appreciate this, and I want to create something like this. I want to continue the tradition of doing this. And that's what I'm talking about here, how something starts off somewhere, just like anime starts off at a certain place, and eventually it becomes such a wide world phenomenon. It becomes so great that it no longer becomes yours. Of course, we have trademarks and copyrights and everything for a reason, because there are certain aspects of that where we don't want people stealing certain things from that and taking advantage of something of what we created in what we've created. What I'm talking about is people taking that style and them taking it and taking their own experiences and putting it in that, and by them emulating that fashion, they not only help this style reach a wider audience, but they help it grow, they help it become enriched, and they help it evolve. And that is the primary reason why I see anime as something that transcends just one nation. As I see it now, it is now becoming something like much bigger than that. It's becoming something that other people love, and other people that grew up with this thing love it, and they want to create their own version. They want to create an homage to it, and there should be nothing wrong with that. That should be embraced, because it's going to help evolve the style, and it's going to help it reach even greater people and increase the love for this style of animation. When Eminem came and he killed the hip hop and rap game, and you know what I mean by kill people, you know what I mean, when he went and he did phenomenally well in that, people weren't saying that he was doing a different genre of music because he was a white guy coming in on stuff that predominantly African Americans did. People saw what he was doing. He brought his own experiences and his own culture to the game, and he did a phenomenal job with it and pretty much changed the face of it. When Tiger Woods came and he did phenomenally well in golf and was breaking records and winning trophies and showing everybody up, no one was saying Tiger Woods was playing a different type of golf game because he was a black man entering a game dominated by white people. No one did that. They looked at Tiger Woods and he was playing golf and he was being phenomenally well. When Phyllis Wheatley came and she became the first ever African American in order to publish a book in America, in order to be published in America, no one was looking at what she was doing and saying that's not writing, that's something else. When she was writing her novels and her works, they looked at her as putting the experiences, even though I know that she still had to be a little careful because she was just starting off, but inevitably her experiences got melded into her authorship, and it helped change the face of writing forever in America. When Shigeru Miyamoto came with Donkey Kong and the Famicom and Nintendo, and he ended up importing his system and everything to America, people weren't saying this is an American thing, and they weren't shutting him down. They were seeing that he was entering the video game scene and basically bringing it back from the dead by turning into something that was no longer just a fad, into a staple with some solid storytelling never before seen, because he was a man that came from a toy company, and he was with the toy company too, and them together brought the story elements that you use for playing with toys to video games, and end up evolving that. And no one was saying this is an American thing, what they're making is not video games, it's something else in Japan, is Japanese gaming or something like that. No, they didn't do that. And then of course you got the pioneers like Bruce Lee, who dared to bring something that people wanted exclusively in their culture, and he dared to expand it because he saw what it could do. He saw that it could evolve the martial arts that he practiced. He saw that there were other people that loved this type of thing that just weren't Chinese, and he saw that he could further extend it and evolve it as an art form. So yeah, basically we could go on forever naming people that have come from different cultures, races, or backgrounds, and ended up moving into something that was different from that was already dominated by different race, culture, or background, and they end up expanding upon it, bringing their own experiences to it, and end up evolving that thing and end up advancing it. Because after all, we may look at ourselves in the mirror, we may see black, we may see Asian, we may see this, we may see that, and as long as differences exist, then it's going to be hard. As long as there are people that want to persist those differences and create negative stereotypes based upon those differences, it's going to have to be something that we're going to have at the forefront of our minds. But maybe one day we'll realize that in the end we're all humans, and we're all human beings on this planet, and we all need to work together in order to figure out ways to evolve what we're doing and to advance what we're doing. And the best way to do that is to bring different cultures and different experiences into our own, and to use that to advance our art, our technology, our politics, and our sciences, basically to advance everything. And that concludes the point I wanted to make here, is that anime is no longer something that is just isolated on the country Japan. It is something that's transcended, and something that's become beyond that. It's evolved beyond just being a cultural staple to being a style of art, to being a phenomenon. And that's something that we need to come and understand. And as long as we keep on trying to hold it back and hold back people that want to enter in and want to advance this, we're not going to see strong advances in anime. And that's something I want to see. I want to see different experiences. I want to see different countries' experiences melded in the anime. I want to see it advance. I want to see it evolve. And I don't want a group of elitists like some reviewers and some people in the industry. I don't want them creating negative press or media towards things that dare in order to go into anime's territory and that strive to become that, not because they're trying to exploit it, but because they love it and they want to become a part of it. I don't want them to hold those things back, because I want to see how far this cartoon phrase can go. It's gone pretty far, and I want to see it advance even further. I want it to be taken to the next step. Okay, and that concludes my rant essentially on what is an anime and my belief on it, what I believe an anime consists of, and why I believe that anime has become this, why it is a style of art as opposed to just something that is specific to a certain culture, as opposed to a style of art that can be influenced by different cultures, as opposed to a style of art that only has to come exclusively from one place. And thank you for listening to this today. And you have to tell me, what is your definition of an anime? Do you agree with what I said, or do you disagree with what I said? Either way, I want to hear what you have to say. We can agree to disagree. I hope we can. And you can just post what you believe in the comments below. And if you feel so inclined, please like this page and please subscribe to see what more we have to offer here on Miss Reviews. And thank you for taking your time to look at what I posted today, and take care. Bye bye.